Alright, so if you guys saw the last video, you know a couple things. One, the intercooler pipe on this is drying because I'm super gluing it right now. If you haven't seen that video, go back and check it out. Two, you know how that turned out and I don't, so I'm a little jealous about that right now. This part of the pipe kept blowing off. Like I said in the last video, I do have a new clamp coming, but I was curious if super glue would help keep it from blowing off. So I got a little bit in between the throttle body and the silicone coupler there, and that's curing right now. I'm gonna let it dry for, I don't know, about an hour or so. So I fixed that clamp so I was able to actually tighten down a little bit more. Hopefully it works. Well, hopefully it worked. I think it did. I think it will. It's weird talking in the present about the past, which is the future. It's weird talking in the present about the past, even though it's still my future. Fucking Marty McFly would be proud of me for that. Anyway, in that video I said that I was gonna dig out Jack Black and hopefully try and make a couple test passes in it, at least one. Yeah, right now, the 4L60 that was in Goldie Hawn's in front of it, I'm going to be taking that down to Texas and giving that to Justin Baker. He rebuilds transmissions. He's really good with them. He's built some 60Es that have held a pretty good amount of power, and I have no use for that. If I ever do come across a project for like a good cruiser where I would want to put a 60E in it, honestly, I'll just pick up another one. They're like 200 bucks all day up here. I'll just give that to him since I'll be down there anyway. He has a lot more use for it than I will. And then here's the backrest for mi hermano's bike. That was like the whitest way to say my brother in Spanish. I'll put this over on the brother table. There's just a couple other things, and I think there might be some stuff in the bed. I'm just gonna clear that out real quick, and then I'll probably open the garage door, let it warm up for a little bit. I know you guys are gonna wanna hear that. Hopefully by then, Pops will be back. And I think I'm actually gonna do the first like burnout and stage and street launch and stuff like that, even though he thinks he's gonna be driving the truck more than me this year. Basically, just because I want to. And it's my YouTube channel. And that's how this works. So I'm gonna get this cleaned out real quick. I'm sure you guys don't really wanna see that. Maybe you do. If you do, sorry about that. What are you doing? Dang it, man. This thing just, that alternator just does not like higher RPM. What the fuck? I thought we had that alignment issue all figured out. So that's Serpentine 1, V-belt 0. I think that this side of it is just cocked too far forward, so I'm gonna pull the spacer out and hopefully that helps with the issue. We'll see. I don't know if it will, but it'll make me feel like I'm doing something. There we go. I'm just gonna tighten it now and see if it looks any better before putting the belt back on. You like jewelry, right?
Huh?
You like jewelry?
What, threw another one?
Yeah.
Son of a bitch.
From over there, it looked fine, but from right here, it looked like this was just kicked way too far forward. So I pulled that little, like, brass spacer out. And I think it's closer, but it's still kind of like it's twisted.
Yeah, but that's... So all you got's just that shaft in here?
Yeah.
That's what it was before, and it kept throwing it.
I don't know then. Should just switch to a serpentine setup. Or put an LS in it. Put a 4.8 and a couple Mongolian motor manglers in it.
Now why ain't it why is it throwing it? I mean, it is not off much of anything.
Right, but it was, well now, but now it's looking like it's kind of twisted. So I don't know how, looking at the crank down there. You know what, we'll just charge the battery in between runs. Electric water pump, there we go. I don't know, maybe we just didn't have it tight enough. It's really only like above 5,500 RPMs that it doesn't like.
Well, it's gonna throw it a lot then.
Yeah. Just have to go out onto the track every time and bow our heads. Kind of want to try and turn the idle screw up a little more so it can learn better. Because it was getting close, but it still wasn't close enough. Come on.
Yeah, I think that upholstery guy out there, I think I hurt his feelings. He told me how much I fucking laughed at him.
Alright, idle turned up. Hopefully that'll help this thing learn a little bit better. Set the IC. Belt is 100% perfect now. Men's Warehouse, guarantee it. Really should fix this hose. I mean, it's not completely collapsed, but yeah, worry about that another time. It's all right. All right, so let's try and let the truck warm up one more time. Oh, it's raining.
Yeah.
Fuck. I guess we could just go out and do a burnout. Shoot. Well, we can let it learn. That sucks.
Oh yeah, that sucks.
Every time we try to have fun, one of the many gods just takes a big old fucking shit on us. Damn it. Well, I'm at a loss. I guess we can still just let the truck self-tune a little bit. Try and get the IAC figured out a little bit more. Oh, that reminds me. In one of the last videos with this truck, you saw us swapping the temp sensors around. That did nothing. They were still completely way off. So right now we got the EFI one in the cylinder head on the passenger side, it looks like. And we're going to see how that does. If that still does nothing, a couple people mentioned that we might want to look into like a replacement temp sensor because they had issues with it. So that'll probably be one of the next things we look into, because I'm assuming that if swapping them side to side didn't do anything, putting it in the head isn't going to do anything either. But there's only one way to find out. Hopefully we can get the IAC figured out too. try and get that between like 4 and 10, but that's a huge improvement. And we're at 1500 right now, give or take. Don't die. Don't die. What are you doing? And let's see, what does this thing say the temp is at? This says it's at 150 right now, which is actually real close to the mechanical one. Wow. Maybe putting in the head was the trick, because they're damn near identical right now. Let's see. It says 160. This says 165. We might have it figured out. That'd be cool. Oh, whoa. What'd you do that for? Why did it just shut off? What the hell? Sounds pretty good. Anyway, I just got back from doing the test on the super glued intercooler pipe, and it actually worked. I'm pleasantly surprised. Like I said in that video, I didn't pay attention to the boost gauge to see exactly what it got up to, but I know it was pretty... Will you shut the fuck up? Golly, man. Woo! That dude is clown shoes in there, man. Look at that guy. Are you even aware of how much smoke you're in right now? Can you feel it? Bike sounds pretty good though. Anyway, where was I? So yeah, like I said in that video, I wasn't sure what boost it got up to, but I know based on the RPM and the load, it was pretty close to like 8, maybe 9 pounds, and it actually held on, which is super nice. I'm very pleasantly surprised. Now back to Jack Black. A little bit of unsettling news. So you saw that it just died there while it was idling. Not really sure why. Checked a bunch of different things, still have fuel pressure. It's getting fuel. We had it on the charger, trying to crank it over, thinking maybe it was just the battery died too much. Checked a few different things. Power to the distributor, it's getting spark. Not sure what's going on with it. It's something we're gonna have to look into a little more. When it's cold, it's fine, but as soon as it gets up to temperature, it dies and it doesn't want to start back up. Just fine just for like a track vehicle, because you can take it there, let it sit and cool down. Honestly, we could just push it to the lanes and then fire it up, make a pass, get it back to the pits, and then we're good. But I do want to keep that somewhat streetable. Come the fuck on, dude. You having fun?
The right blinkers aren't working.
Well, maybe hitting the throttle will help the blinkers. Kind of like a frame of reference for that is any of like the street classes or like daily driver classes. You have to like drive it to the race spot or anything like that, and I would like that truck to at least be able to do that. We may never do that with the truck, but I'd like it to be able to do that. So that's kind of like a frame of reference, what I have in mind for that. So we're gonna have to do a little bit of digging around, figure out what's going on with the thing. I have no idea. I'm really at a kind of a complete loss. I'm gonna try and get a hold of some of the people at Summit, see if they can kind of point me in the right direction, because it is like almost as soon as it gets up to temperature. Oh, and by the way, side note for that, putting the temp sensor in the head, for whatever reason, they were super close there, like 5 or so degrees difference between the EFI temp sensor and the mechanical temp sensor. I don't know why putting it in the head made that much of a difference versus having it on the intake. It seems like, for the most part, coolant's coolant. Wherever it's reading the coolant, it would, I don't know. It doesn't make sense to me. But luckily it was working there. So, like I said, I'm gonna try and get a hold of some of the people at Summit. They've been super cool to me in the past, and try and have them point me in the direction. But as soon as it gets up to temperature, it just dies, doesn't want to run anymore. And then just leaves a disappointed Josh and a very pissed off Papatron, which is very frustrating because then he's like, fuck this shit, let's just throw a carb back on it, and I'm not about that life anymore. Not after I've spent like $1,000 on that conversion. Anyway, good news here. This thing's doing pretty good. I'm gonna try and get the tune a little bit closer as we go, as we lead up to getting out to Texas to TX2K. Because basically like one of the last stops I'm gonna do before going to the actual TX2K is Justin Baker's, and then he's gonna tune it, but we're gonna stop it.
Orange cordless drill?
No, I haven't touched that. Was it on the table? Anyway, like one of the last stops we're gonna do before making it out to TX2K is Justin Baker's. He's gonna tune it as best he can. I'm sure he'll get it a whole lot closer than I am because he has actual experience and he's built nice vehicles for people. But we're gonna stop at like the Arlington Summit building. Hopefully some of you guys can make it out for that. It'd be cool to like put some names to faces and stuff like that and let you guys actually see this pile of trash. And it would be nice to have a truck that at least like sounded good and did burnouts for you guys. Whether or not it's running perfectly doesn't really matter as long as it can like smoke the tires and be somewhat entertaining. That's kind of the goal for it. Anyway, I think that's kind of enough rambling. This video is probably going to be forever, so I'm probably going to wrap it up here. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching, sincerely. Thank you for liking, commenting, and subscribing, and hopefully you guys can make it out to Texas. I'm going to try to post on Instagram kind of in advance where we're going to stop on the way there and back. We're going to be taking different routes there, so like on the way back up, not going to be coming through Dallas. Anyway, see you guys.